Hello, everybody. My name's Billy McCarthy. We spent a fucking hour trying to start this podcast. Jaru, Richard, introduce yourselves.
So, sounds like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I can't do my Arnold voice.
I'm certain both of us can give a better Arnold voice than the one who's in Mortal Kombat 11.
Get to the chopper.
At least they got the actor who portrayed an 80s character to reprise his role.
So we're talking about death battles. How did you guys find Obi-Wan versus Kakashi?
Oh, well.
By the way, we're going to spoil the fight. This is the worst intro. This is the worst intro we've ever done.
You haven't listened to the other intros recently.
Yeah, exactly.
They somewhat had a professional introduction. So, Obi-Wan versus Kakashi was the latest death battle, which featured everyone's favorite, probably the most memed Star Wars character of all time. Like, any quote is a meme. Versus the guy who reads porn while fighting. He's not my guy, but he's alright.
Wait a second. I just realized they scaled Might Guy to Naruto, but they didn't scale Kakashi to Naruto. What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's because Kakashi is not exactly on the level Naruto is. It's kind of like the whole Roshi and Goku thing. Like, Goku's...
Might Guy is?
Yeah, believe it or not, he is.
Oh, with his ultimate kill himself move.
Yep, with his... So, we had Star Wars vs. Naruto. What did you guys think?
Alright, so, for those who aren't aware, I don't watch Death Battle lately, unless it is featuring a character I give a shit about. And even then, I only watch it if my character wins. So, the only Death Battle... So this, in other words, this is the first Death Battle I've watched since the podcast.
Oh wow!
Podcast. I've only watched. If I had only been watching death battles that I wanted to watch, I wouldn't have watched any since the one with the psychic children. I forget their names.
Wow, Tatsumaki and shit. I actually forgot who. Yeah, Mob. I mean, I knew who that was. I was just testing you.
Yeah, I knew they were too. I'm just too lazy to use my brain.
You know, as someone who's a One Punch Man fan, I would feel like you would remember Tatsumaki.
I remembered it. I just don't like activating my brain. It's laziness.
Yeah, exactly.
But no. So, point is, I don't remember what episode we did a podcast on, like last, before we went on hiatus because of a disease pandemic. But ever since that, I have not watched any death battles. Except this one. Because I wasn't originally, but then I heard that the ninja character lost, and I was like, oh... I've got to see this.
Which is kind of interesting because a lot of the times ninja characters win.
Unfortunately,
I think this is the first ninja character to ever lose. And before you say Gara, no, he's not a ninja. No.
Sasuke.
Well, he fought another ninja.
I don't know if he was. Was he a ninja?
I don't remember.
I don't know. That was like more than a day ago, so it's too far in the past for me to remember. But yeah, no. Because I knew that it was going to be a salt storm if Kakashi lost.
Oh, by the way, spoiler alerts, Kakashi lost. Obi-Wan won.
Obi-Wan.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And so, you know, I was joking about it on Twitter. I was like, I hope that Kakashi or that Obi-Wan wins. That won't happen. And then he fucking did.
Very brutally, might I add.
Well, yeah, and they were like, I'd like to point out that this is the first death battle where they actually did math for a Star Wars character.
Yep.
The first match was in season 1, and the second match was in season 2.
Ironic.
We haven't had Star Wars since.
Yeah, like, 5 years. There's been a 5-year gap with this matchup.
Unless you count the DBX with Darth Vader versus Magneto.
I don't count the DBX, no.
Yeah, no.
And apparently Ben said that he's been wanting to do this for a while, but it's kind of weird that he chose now to do it.
I guess
I mean, it's pretty timely. The episode aired on May the 4th. So, you know.
which they didn't account for going into that. They were like, they didn't think, let's put it on May the 4th. No, it just coincidentally got to be on May the 4th.
That's hilarious.
It is hilarious.
That is amazing.
Yeah, the second I found out that, because like what I do is like I'll open up the episode, and then if it's an episode I give a shit about, and then I'll go to the end and see who won, and if it's a character I wanted, then I go, okay, let's see how this went down. Then I watch the actual episode.
What really surprised me is that more people were on Obi-Wan's side than Kakashi. That blew my mind. Like, Duo usually puts up a poll about it, and I'm like, you know what? I usually go for the underdog, but no, I'm going for Kakashi. And then I saw it was like 80% for Obi-Wan. I was like, excuse me, bitch?
Yeah, I don't think necessarily everyone thought he would win as much as they were like, oh, we gotta root for the non-ninja. It's only fair. And we root for the underdog because we're sure they're gonna say Kakashi can blow up the moon or something. And then they were like, even if he could blow up the moon, he'd still lose because he can move black holes. And it's like, what the fuck?
When did Jedi get so powerful? Like, when I was a kid, the best that Obi-Wan could do was just bat away another lightsaber and then just die. That was the best he could do. Now suddenly,
No.
now he can bring freaking Star Destroyers in. He can straight up send black holes. It's like, when could monks do this?
2 words. Expanded universe.
I've never read the expanded universe. I watched the old Samurai Jack styled cartoon, which is fantastic. A-tier material.
Yeah. Well, I'll go into that more later when I get
Suddenly,
to my
Starkiller pulling a Star Destroyer out of the sky is no longer such a outlander.
No.
Outlander?
No, that's right.
It is neither a Scotsman nor an outlier. But no, yeah, that's crazy. I did not expect them to. Okay, let me just make it clear. I did not expect planetary Jedi, and I also did not expect beyond planetary Jedi.
Yeah, isn't Darth Vader meant to be like on a near like planet level as well?
I mean, he's the chosen one, so he's supposed to be like on par with or superior to nearly everyone.
Yeah, exactly. Well, originally, before he became Darth Vader, he was supposed to be this god among Force users, but then he got limbs chopped off, and then his son inherited that potential. So if you have the blood of the chosen one, you're automatically going to reach god tier levels of
or unless you're Palpatine's grandchild.
We don't talk about that.
I talk about it. So welcome to the new podcast.
But no, I did not expect any of that. And then he won, and it was glorious, and the salt was immense, and that just made it better.
A nice little detail was that Obi-Wan used the Force to crush his eye, and then he slashed at him.
And it was also a nice detail that his Chidori went from blue to purple.
Oh, yes.
That was because he could only use blue Chidori with the Sharingan, but the purple Chidori was what he developed to use it without the Sharingan. So, there's lots of actual careful choices and details.
Yeah, well, speaking of that, we should talk about this animation.
Let's just talk about the glory. The glory that is Devil Artemis and his fights.
I have actually been watching. I've been watching some of his videos after we kind of spoke about him on the podcast, and I was like, what videos does he do? The first video I saw was Cell versus Nemesis, and when he's just doing characters talking, it's somehow entertaining.
No. He's a very funny dude.
Oh, yes. He's got a great sense.
Oh, and there's more than just Devil Artemis working on the animation. There were some other folks. I don't know off the top of my head.
But, I do know one.
Kudos to all of them.
Yeah. I think we could they're just referred to as the Triple D team because all of them have D's in their names.
Really?
When you need an animation done, when you need someone to die, you call in the D team.
Yeah, exactly. No, the D team. This is the same team that worked on Ganondorf versus Dracula, which I call the most unique tier death battle of all time because it was their first time having a death battle animation be in Source Filmmaker instead of Unreal Engine, which was cool. And
one of your friends also voiced acted Kakashi, right?
Yes, one of my friends, Nicholas. He did a great job as Kakashi. But yeah, no.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
He was really good. As someone who's a big Naruto fan, he really did capture him. He did good.
Both voice actors did phenomenally good.
I really thought they just used voice clips for Obi-Wan.
No, that was Steven.
Nope, he's just that good. Oh my god. Yeah. I was thinking about something earlier, and it was how, like, one of the things that made me such a huge, like, obsessed with Death Battle was the almost magical way they could take characters and then make me fall in love with them. And,
yes.
like it's a little known fact that I was not a Ganondorf, like, obsessee before I was a Death Battle fan. I never gave much of a shit about Ganondorf until he had his Death Battle, his first one. And then I became obsessed. Same with He-Man. Same with RoboCop. And suddenly I just have this unstoppable urge to be an Obi-Wan stan. So, that's just the coolest thing about Death Battle. It makes some characters so fucking cool.
Young Obi-Wan is the most memeable man and the most badass man in fiction history. He could say anything and you would quote it somewhere.
Yeah, no, I've been saying this. I've been an Obi-Wan stan all of my life. I've been a fanatic of this character. I've been an expert on this character, and you can just imagine. I think like the whole internet was just imagined how I felt about this, and I felt great about this because it's like this is because now I can this is the Obi-Wan.
You can't even form a sentence right now.
I can't even form a sentence. That's how great this fucking matchup was. But no, yeah. I actually mentioned this, like going back to the animation. The animation is so good in this episode. The texturing is actually a lot better here. And I didn't even notice it until my second watch of the preview, where Obi-Wan drops his robe, and you actually see the thing has weight to it before it leaves behind a little dust cloud. That's stuff you can't get with Unreal. With Unreal, you don't get those kind of textures or little details.
You would have to manually animate that.
Yeah, no, exactly. But with SFM, the texturing is so good, and the details are so good. Despite not being clean, it's still good. And the fact that there were 3 SFM animations on this, and it took me a while to figure out, okay, which one is Devil Artemis, which one is this person, and it's so seamless how they transition from one another. Because okay, which one's Devil Artemis? Oh, that's the scene where he uses the 1,000 years of death on.
Oh my god, that scene! I can't believe they actually had. I really thought he was going to like psych him up. No, they straight up showed and not only that, Devil Artemis confirmed that he originally just had the tip of his finger, but then I think Ben Singer was like, no, all the way in there with the knuckle. Like, wow, they straight up had Obi-Wan have his anal virginity taken.
This is the best animation of season 7. That's it. They're like everybody's been arguing now. Which one's better, this or Ganondorf versus Dracula?
I mean, probably an unpopular opinion.
Ganondorf guy, so obviously that one's inferior.
But it has Dracula winning.
Yeah, who?
Oh, shut up! Just because you don't know him doesn't mean he's not popular. He is a fucking beast.
Oh yeah, he's so popular. He just used the name of a villain who's existed for like 200 years.
Well, Ganondorf was named after a canon.
No, he wasn't. What the fuck?
Well, shut the fuck up, all right? I'm trying to defend Dracula.
Anyway, back on topic. No.
Yeah, so Dracula.
Fuck you. No,
Don't behave.
No, the fight was amazing. Like the voice acting, the visuals, the music, and then there was just. I think the highlight for me has to be the genjutsu. Like that was fucking god tier. Like holy shit. The transition from leaping Darth Vader into leaping Kakashi was one
brilliant.
of the most coolest things to be in Death Battle ever. Like that's some Solid Snake appearing with a red eye behind Sam Fisher levels of badass. Like fucking rad. I loved it.
Wow, Jaru said rad.
Well, yeah, no, and he's
rad all the time. It is literally.
He does say that.
It's part of my vernacular.
Is it?
Yes.
Sean, go back on our previous podcast and just show me that, because I can't remember the last time he said rad.
Well, that's because we were talking about death battles I didn't give a shit about.
Oh, that probably makes sense.
As soon as I saw, because again, I was like, okay, I even knew. I was like, okay, well, what's the genjutsu illusion going to be for Obi-Wan? Oh, wait, what wouldn't it be? Because this is Revenge of the Sith era Obi-Wan Kenobi, so it made sense. Darth Vader. But then as soon as I saw it, I knew it was coming. But then when I saw it, I was like, oh my God, look at how great that looked. Like, look at the detail. Like, I know what model that is, but the fact that they over-exaggerated Vader's red lenses, it's like, oh my God. And then it beautifully, like Jaru says, like, it flawlessly, you can't even see the break. It just flawlessly transitions over to Kakashi. It was so good.
I think one of the things I did like about that shot was Obi-Wan, like, just straight up just, like, ignoring, like, that. I was really thinking, oh, he's done now. He's going to get fucked up. But then...
that you and everyone else, you and every other Naruto.
Like, okay.
So good.
As a Naruto... I just want to point this out.
It's just like, oh my God, what a boss.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's how again, Revenge of the Sith era. Everybody has said this, and it still remains true even in this battle because of the writing and the voice acting. Revenge of the Sith era Obi-Wan Kenobi is a goddamn Chad. Like he is. Yes.
Oh God, not this meme.
He is.
Virgin Ninja Chad.
Oh come on, I like Kakashi, man. I was gutted that he lost.
Well, I wasn't, because though he was one of my favorite Naruto characters, I'm like, fuck no. Of course I'm going for Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obi-Wan is my fucking childhood. He is the goddamn best Star Wars character in all of Star Wars.
I've taken an immense pleasure from Naruto characters losing ever since.
Oh wow, you are a dick. You are a dick.
Yes. It is so just the sweet taste of the collective salt of the internet.
Is my salt mixed in there?
Definitely, almost definitely.
Well, okay.
Although this time it's salt with a bit of revenge.
Do you know what? Jaru, I could fire you right now. I could just make up some bullshit. I could just make up some bullshit story and say, "Oh, he insulted me, and now he's no longer on the podcast." We're gonna have.
No, you couldn't.
We're gonna have, I don't know, Batman be on there. It'll just be my plush toy of Batman.
What?
Hey, he won't say anything. He won't contribute. But do you know what? He won't insult Naruto for me. So you know what? In fact, no. You're replaced now. You're replaced now.
All Might was avenged by Obi-Wan. God bless.
Yes.
Everyone who's watching this podcast, type down in the comments,
Frank Sinatra.
Shut up. Well, okay. See, what my favorite part of this battle and this animation and this analysis is that every Naruto fan, and again, I've searched it, I've looked up salty reactions, I've gotten salty comments. Every Naruto fan did not know or even have a shred of IQ when it came to Star Wars.
I have to actually be on their side for this one, so to give my quick take on this.
Nobody in the Naruto community who's barely heard of Star Wars or watched it, they didn't know Obi-Wan was this goddamn powerful.
I mean, I didn't know he was this powerful either, but I didn't get salty about it.
No, yeah, you didn't. But that moment where he's using telekinesis to get out of the ground, and you see this hurricane of leaves and wind, and everybody's like, "What the fuck?"
Even I was like that. I was like, when could a Jedi just decide, "All right, I'm an Earthbender now"?
Yeah, essentially, yes, and oh my goodness, favorite part of the animation has to be when the kill shot. The fact that they did a callback to Strider versus Ryu was awesome. With just Kakashi coming in with his purple lightning and Obi-Wan just being a Chad and just deactivating his lightsaber and waiting for Kakashi to make a mistake.
It wasn't more of a callback to Strider versus Ryu. I think it was meant to be like a blend of like Kakashi's fight with I forget his name. Well, the final fight that he fought in the show, they know what I mean. But Obi-Wan, essentially, like when he was going to accept his fate to Darth Vader, it was kind of like a callback to both of those. But rather than Obi-Wan saying, "All right, I'm out," he was like, "Psych, bitch."
Oh God, this animation, man. Everybody's pretty much unanimously said not only is this the best animation of season 7, but the next 3D fight. It's not going to come close to this. I feel like we've been spoiled.
Well, you don't know that yet. This episode could end up topping that.
I mean, hey, I thoroughly endorse them to try and top this. 100%.
All right, before we talk about the next time, though, I still need to give my opinion about this episode.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
So, going into this, I knew a bit of Obi-Wan just from the movies. I never watched the Clone Wars TV show. In fact, I'm actually watching that now. I'm currently on Season 1, Episode 4. So I was naturally assuming, alright, they're going to use the expanded lore, but if it's anything like Luke and Darth Vader that they covered, I'm sure it's nothing that impressive. Boy, did I have to eat my own words! Like, Obi-Wan is like... He's just meant to be like a very peaceful character, isn't he? Yet here he is, like, straight up lifting starships and just slamming them into the earth. Or freaking stopping fighters in mid-air. Things that can move over the speed of light as well. That's what kills it.
Yeah.
Like, no Naruto character I've seen has, aside, of course, Naruto himself, have achieved moving at light speed. Like, and the idea Obi-Wan could just close his eyes and stop a ship moving at that speed is ridiculous.
Yeah, no. That actually was something everybody was arguing about. Is that if they use Legends continuity, then Obi-Wan's gonna win, but if they don't, he loses. It's like everybody was against. It feels like the Naruto community was against Obi-Wan winning because they thought they knew if they didn't give him this, he wouldn't win.
Well, I actually want to point out to Naruto fans, they covered just not only the movies and the new canon, but as well as Legends. And the problem with using Obi-Wan in new canon, he doesn't have that many feats, to be honest. Like, you could argue if you scale him to Anakin during the Clone Wars TV show, or even like the cartoon, you could probably give him something, but that doesn't really cover the full power of Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah, right. Well, I've always said this. I knew they were going to get, even when people were arguing and debating, oh no, are they or aren't they? It's like, no, they have to, because the Disney, because Obi-Wan is one of the few characters where you can use both canons together to give him, to realize what his true maximum potential is, because nothing in the new canon with Obi-Wan contradicts what he couldn't do in the old canon and vice versa. And since the Clone Wars cartoon and the Revenge of the Sith movie and the novel, since those can walk the line between the old and the new canon, Obi-Wan was going to get EU continuity regardless, because it's just part of his arsenal.
And I do want to point this out to my... of course, I'm a Naruto fan, I can accept this. George Lucas himself has confirmed neither the new canon or the EU universe follow the same continuity, but at the same time, you can choose which one you think is more faithful to the storyline of his original image. Like George Lucas has said, technically there is no main canon. In fact, he even says, if you want to think Mace Windu's alive, you can think he's alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
so,
plus it's like, Death Battle has a long-standing tradition of ignoring the fuck out of the new canon and focusing on Legends.
In fact, I think I wouldn't be surprised if Ben Singer did play a bit of bias because he does not like the new trilogy. Even when people were praising the Force, when people were praising the Force Awakens, he was just like, "No, I do not like this movie," and people hated him for that. But now people are kind of jumping to Ben's side, like, "No, we don't like these movies too." I mean, unpopular opinion, I think the first film was all right, but I didn't think the sequels really got me hyped. Rogue One was amazing though, and Solo. I think Solo's underrated. All right, it wasn't a good Star Wars movie, but it was a good Han Solo movie, in my opinion.
Word.
But anyway, but back to the fight. Now, I'm going to talk more about Kakashi because I'm more familiar with him because I grew up with Naruto. Now, as much as I've seen a lot of quote-unquote debunks, they don't debunk shit, I'm just saying that right now.
Thank you.
In fact, there's one YouTuber rather than debunk, he wanted to be, like, edgy, so he splashed.
God, yeah, I know that dude.
But I'm going to admit this, Kakashi was fucked.
Every Naruto fan has admitted and pretty much come to the conclusion that they downplayed Kakashi, they took this away from him, and they just made him weak, and they wanked Obi-Wan.
Oh, wanked. The scientific term to describe overpowered.
It doesn't matter what they did or did not give to Kakashi. They could have given him everything Naruto has, and he still would have lost.
He would have. I don't even think Naruto could beat Obi-Wan, to be honest.
He has fucking black hole scaling. What the fuck are you gonna do to that?
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, because we're getting to the half an hour part, I do want to talk about the next time. But so to end my thoughts, unlike Kakashi, I feel like they represented him good. The voice actor, sorry if I butchered his name, Nikolai, was that it?
Yeah, Nick. You can just call him Nick.
Nick, if you end up watching this, you did a fantastic job representing my favourite Naruto character. Next to Might Guy, I'm not saying he voiced it, I'm saying Might Guy is one of my favourites and so is Kakashi, and Nick did him perfectly. Like, I never felt like I was just listening to someone voicing a character I know. No, I felt like I was watching Kakashi fight Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Ditto. I think the same thing. And
the animators, my god, you could not have... Even if you tried to not capture his fighting style, you still perfected how Kakashi would actually fight. I felt like I was watching a mixture of a Star Wars fight with a Naruto. It really felt like a crossover fight, because even though I like Death Battle, I can't deny that at some points it just felt like I was just watching two characters fight. Like, Goron versus Machamp, as much as I love that, I can't help but feel like it wasn't really like a Pokemon versus a Mortal Kombat crossover.
Yeah, like it just blended together, like it was hard to differentiate.
It was still fun, but of course, when I think of a crossover fight, I'm thinking combining this with that. Like, Yang versus Tifa, even though I didn't like that episode as much, I still felt like I was watching a Final Fantasy versus Ruby series. And just like now, I felt like I was watching a Star Wars versus Naruto crossover, and the fight was absolutely amazing. It was hilarious, like Obi-Wan just going through all his most famous quotes. "Hello there, I have the high ground." I don't think so. In fact, I also love the fact he was like, so uncivilized. Yet he was the one that mind controlled him to try and leave him alone, and he crashed on his land.
Okay. I want to say this: Obi-Wan was not in the wrong, even though yes, you can make the argument both of them were either right or wrong. I mean, yes, Kakashi had the right to question because all he did was like, okay, you're dangerous, you're on my territory.
No, he crashed on his territory. That's like if someone crashed on your lawn. You were like, what the fuck did you just do?
But then you go to Obi-Wan. It's like, okay, the dude had a hard day. All right, he got into a battle. He just crashed down, and all he wants to do is just establish where he is. He's not looking to cause any harm. And then, he just thought, okay, you know what? I don't need this right now, so I'm just gonna be civil and just say, all right, go home, read your porn, because that's what you were doing. You're just reading porn.
Okay, I guess I can't deny that. I guess Kakashi did kind of step it up by throwing knives at him, which is a bit extreme.
Yeah, exactly. So
this is the way.
This is the way.
I have spoken.
Yeah, exactly. Well, okay, I actually counted. There was only one original line Obi-Wan said,
Oh, was it Jaw when he got penetrated?
No, it's had enough. That's not a prequel mean quote. That, that was an original line for this battle.
I mean, it still counts.
It does. I don't know.
But yeah,
as my final...
Sorry, go ahead.
So for the reasoning, because unlike these two, I actually watched the analysis and judged the analysis as well for these podcasts.
I did watch the analysis.
So unlike these two, if they could shut up, I've actually watched the analysis. I'm joking, guys. So how they actually represented Kakashi, yeah, I'd say they represented him perfectly. I mean, would I think they should have scaled him to Naruto, like new Naruto? No, they shouldn't. It would be saying like, oh, we should scale Roshi how he is now to Super Saiyan Blue Goku. It's like, no, Goku surpassed Roshi, just like Naruto surpassed Kakashi. Like, the only reason Might Guy was like scaled to him is because Might Guy is almost on par with Naruto. It's just that his most ultimate attack, unfortunately, kills him.
More like he's nowhere near Naruto, but his ultimate attack lets him, for one attack, get somewhat, arguably, debatably.
Okay, Jaru, you've already shat enough on my childhood. Let me just at least try and give it some benefit of the doubt here. You smart ass. But yeah, I feel like they did him justice. It's a shame he lost, but at the end of the day, Obi-Wan is just way too overpowered for someone like Kakashi. Like, Kakashi, his fighting style doesn't consist on fighting more overpowered villains. He more tries to get an advantage with his stealth and his techniques. If his techniques fail, he's fucked.
Yeah,
that's pretty much how a ninja works. Their main element is not their strength, it's their illusion, their techniques. And if those fail, well, they just got to rely on mostly their combat skills. And if it isn't up to par, then you're fucked. That's how a ninja works.
Yeah, no, and just so I don't seem like a dick to Naruto, even though I hate the Naruto community, I hate that, with the exception of Bill.
Yeah.
Because I gotta be nice to him, because he's my friend. So he gets points. The whole Naruto community, they underestimated Kanobi like a lot. Like 99% of them underestimated, didn't do research, but I will be nice this one time and say that, okay, Kakashi's one of my favorite characters. I was happy that he was well represented. I wasn't just biased towards Kanobi.
Well, I mean, you kind of was.
Yeah, okay, I was mostly biased towards Kanobi, but I wanted Kakashi to be well represented. And he was in both the analysis, the animation, and of course, my friend Nick voiced him, and Nick may lose a lot of fights that he's in.
He really does, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. Like, now he's 4-0. He's 0-4. So basically, but what matters is that he gives a fucking amazing performance. Like, he's always the highlight and standout, and that's what I mainly saw. Like, everybody has been praising him more than Steven, which I feel like that's unfair because both of them deserve praise, not just one. But yeah, no, I was happy Kakashi was well represented, and I'm sad he had to die to my favorite character, but I will never get tired. Yeah, okay, yeah, I'm not that sorry, but I am sorry.
All right,
yeah,
so
like George said, I kind of have to get a little bit of. I have to feel like I got a little bit of revenge for All Might versus Might Guy.
Oh, yes.
all right. Well, to give my final thoughts before we move on to the next one, because apparently my dog is staring at the lead. So probably another 20 minutes, and then we'll probably wrap this up. So I liked. Okay, well, Kakashi was represented well. Obi-Wan, I'm really glad I got to learn that Star Wars is Dragon Ball levels. And I hope we get to see more death battles related to these Star Wars characters. They seem pretty interesting, more than I thought before.
I hope so.
I'm not salty Kakashi lost. I'm a little bit, but I'm not like butthurt to the point I'll start wishing death threats on Death Battle. Wish they get COVID. By the way, someone actually did a review on this episode and did say, I hope they get COVID for this. You could not make us Naruto fans sound any worse, mate. I'm not gonna say your name, mate, but you're fucking pathetic. Just saying that
word.
And if you do comment on this video about that, you're still pathetic. It doesn't matter what you say. You saying that just makes you pathetic.
Oh my goodness.
Billy roasting fans since the beginning of the year.
Yeah, that's my job. I'm supposed to be roasting, or Jaru is.
Hey, listen, when I get angry or annoyed about something, trust me, serious Bill comes out.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you don't want to get too serious because you may go ghost.
I tell you what, before we speak about that, Jaru has one final thought to give on this episode.
One final thought. Y'all talked way longer than I did. What the fuck?
I'm sorry. Well, yeah, technical difficulties.
To be fair, I was quiet a lot of the time when you were talking, when you two were hyping up Obi-Wan.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, I talked about the fight and how great it was because it was great. Everything about it was great. It was awesome. But as far as the analysis goes, I don't give a flying fuck about versus debate. So I don't care. But watching Naruto fans rage has always been very entertaining. So I'm happy Obi-Wan won in that regard. Plus,
it must be weird to say that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really care about Star Wars. I would not say I was a Star Wars fan, but I might be now, just because Obi-Wan's fucking red. But
are you going to change your profile picture to Obi-Wan wearing glasses?
No.
Darn.
Even if Kakashi was lowballed, which he wasn't, but even if he was, I think that would just be the universe balancing out after the disgusting highball that was All Might versus Might.
Oh, for fuck's sake! You know what? No, I take it back. No, we're moving on to the next time.
No, let him.
So yeah, the universe balanced itself out. Great fight. God bless Obi-Wan. And this fight was so much fun. I enjoyed it so much that I actually went ahead and bothered to watch some of the previous episodes that I hadn't watched. So Goro versus Machamp was pretty cool, by the way.
Yay!
Cable versus Booster Gold was hilarious.
Yay!
I didn't watch the anime Ice one though because I didn't give a flying fuck. But,
I actually did watch that just to learn about Esdeath. She's pretty cool, I will admit. Pun not intended.
I don't care enough, so I'm not watching. So yeah. Anyway, those are my final thoughts. Cool fight. I don't care about versus debates. I don't care who anyone thinks should have won, but I thought it was pretty great. That was pretty funny.
All right. Well, I'm thinking we draked this along. That was terrible. So next time is Danny Phantom versus Jake Long. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to come out and say this. I know a lot about Danny Phantom. In fact, pretty much what I know about Naruto is probably the same as Danny Phantom. Jake Long, you guys are going to have to help me out there. I know jack shit.
I watched like 5 episodes of the fucking show. I don't know anything.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
One thing I know is that originally in the show, maybe you'll show a picture of this on screen in editing.
Sean, get on that.
Originally, Jake had a Western dragon form, so he was really big and buff and macho looking. But then they were like, "Oh wait, this is supposed to be about Chinese dragons, not Western dragons."
Yeah.
So, without explanation, I'm pretty sure they just one season had his dragon form look completely different. Just go from big buff macho to noodle dragon.
Oh wait, so they still kept that buff dragon?
No, they got rid of it. He became Noodle Dragon.
No, I meant in the first season. He was a big dragon, but then he became the Chinese tradition dragon. That is so stupid. You would think if they're going to write something about Chinese characters, they would at least do that first. Or, to be honest, they should have just stuck to the big one if that was the case. If they fucked up there, well, it'd just be weird just to change it.
I don't know. I don't care either, but I thought that was hilarious.
I'm actually curious if Death Battle would sort of give that like a final form. Like, that's what he goes.
Oh, yeah. It's like Final Ultra Instinct Jake goes west. Oh, that's a little... I don't know. That might be culturally insensitive.
Exactly.
But anyway, I think this is... I mean, I know there's a lot of people who have wanted this matchup for a long time.
Even Butch Hartman, he actually commented on Twitter saying, I can't wait for this.
Yeah, he thinks... I think he said... Danny's not the only one who's going to be going ghost.
Someone's a bit biased.
That's hilarious. It's fucking great.
I think he's like one of the only creators to actually comment on Deathmatch. I think the only other one is, well, he's not really created, but Scout's original voice actor commented that he was hoping to voice Scout for Tracer versus Scout. Sadly, they already recorded the episode. Shame.
People will just shit on Butch Hartman, and I don't give and I don't give a fuck what they have to say. I think he's a neat fella, but
He seems like a nice guy. I mean, he said something stupid on a live stream, but everyone said something stupid. Like Jaru said loads of stupid things this podcast.
Yeah, people say stupid shit all the time. That doesn't make
I have a distaste for Butch, but I'm slowly warming up back to the guy. Yeah, he made some dumbass comments and stupid decisions. He lied about his goddamn streaming service. Look, I don't care. I'm starting to like the guy, and anybody who acknowledges that they're a fan of Death Battle, that gets them a point in my book.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll watch Danny Phantom for the first time.
So you've not watched Danny Phantom?
That's
really
what I've
good.
heard. Yeah.
Danny Phantom is probably one of
better than American Dragon Jake Long.
Oh yeah, no. I can admit that because again, I don't want to drag this on any too long, but I'm going to cover the first season of American Dragon and prove to people that this show, they may hold it in high regards, but the first season, it's terrible. It's bad.
Ooh.
It's a miracle this show got off the ground and
Wow.
got overhauled and renewed for its second season because
Was it that bad?
well, that depends. Do you want to hear a Chinese New Yorker kid go overboard with the 2000 slang?
Oh god, not 2000 slang. Not 2000.
At
Not
least
too-
use 90s slang.
At least
No,
with 80s slang, it's kind of cheesy. You can kind of,
Tubular and radical.
But
No.
oh my god,
Every dialogue from Jake from the whole first season, nothing. It's nothing but 2000 slang. Every sentence, 2000 slang.
that is awful. That is awful.
That's not real.
As far as this matchup goes, I know it's like a fan favorite. People have been requesting it since the dawn of time, but like, I don't really care that much about it. Like, in my community tier list, it's only like a B tier, and that's like what everyone consented it to being. So if everyone else thought it was B tier, then I probably thought it was like C tier.
And
So
Yeah.
Richard, you said this is going to be 3D. I thought it was going to be hand drawn.
No.
It's what 3D? That doesn't make any sense.
No. This is not going to be 3D, and it's not going to be hand drawn. This is going to be using This is going to be animated by Lewis, and this is actually going to be using the skeletal puppet style animation from Miles vs. Static. So this won't be sprite sheets.
Okay, so similar to Asdef versus what was his? I swear, wasn't that kind of similar?
No, it was custom sprites, but it wasn't the same.
Okay, that's interesting.
Turns out I gave this matchup an A tier ranking, so I guess I like it more than I remember liking it. But yeah, so this is a matchup. So, for example, if we weren't doing a podcast on this episode, we might not be. I don't know. I can't see the future. But if we weren't doing a podcast, this is a great example of an episode that I would check to see who won, and if Danny won, I'd watch it, and if Jake won, I'd skip it. So
Really? Wow.
yeah.
I'm taking it the majority of people think Jake wins.
No,
most
majority think Danny wins.
yeah.
Oh, really?
People bounce back and forth, but like the general gist is people go from either thinking Danny stomps to thinking it's a good match, but Danny still wins. Like that's the two perspectives.
Okay, this ain't really related to this episode, but I really hate when people say that, like, oh, it's an even fight, but Danny wins. Or when people say, oh, this character's going to win, even though I'm rooting for the other guy. It's like, mate, just be honest and just say, oh, you're rooting for this guy.
I'm rooting for Danny, and I have no clue if he should win.
I think...
I like Danny more as a character. I mean, I love the theme song. I may have never seen the show, but I fucking love that theme song.
I actually never did love that song. I always thought that was cringe.
He's a fan.
What the fuck's wrong with you, Bill?
I'm going to be honest.
problems.
Okay, to be fair, my choice of music's really weird. Like, on my iPhone, I have Johnny Cash's Hurt, but then next to that is Halo's...
good.
But no, next to that is Halo's Blow Me Away.
Well, both of those are good songs, but
I know, but you would not really expect those to be next to each other. You would think they'd be on like a separate list. Oh no, no! Guess what's after Halo Blows Me Away?
okay, fine.
Warhammer.
What?
No, What to Do with a Drunken Sailor? by the
That's all
Irish
good songs.
Rovers. But I know it's weird. My playlist is weird. But
Well, okay. Well, speaking that's an actual good Sorry, I hate to interrupt. I'm trying to keep us consistent. But speaking of music, I hope the music track for this fight is dope.
I mean, to be fair, I think whenever I hear people talk about these
I
shows,
also hope
people
We
do.
need if this track is the one track that doesn't have fucking lyrics, I'm giving it. I'm debunking a point. I'm sorry. I'm taking off a point.
That's why I think this song is gonna have some of that
you're
Jake
debunking
Long.
a point.
Yeah.
So, like, I know these two. Whenever I hear these talked about, it's always their theme tunes that I hear the most talked about first.
He's a
I
phantom.
have no idea what American Dragon Jake Long's. I just
It's
remembered it. Fuck.
Yeah.
He's the American Dragon.
Yeah, it's
Oh God.
It's-
even the theme songs.
so it's pretty obvious these two are rooting for Danny Phantom, but also I am also rooting for Danny Phantom because I grew up with him. In fact, I was one of those kids in secondary school where everyone would talk about Fairy Odd Parents and SpongeBob. I was the only kid that watched Danny Phantom, believe it or not.
Yeah. You know,
It was
I
not.
never
It was
liked-
not. It was not popular in the UK. Like you would see SpongeBob merch, Fairy Odd Parents, but rarely you would ever see Danny Phantom. The only time his popularity spiked was when there was that crossover Nickelodeon game, and then people were like, "Oh, I know Jimmy Neutron, I know SpongeBob, Timmy Turner. Who's this guy?" And I'm like, "Danny Phantom."
What the fuck's wrong with you people?
I mean,
no,
we British are terrible at media.
No.
Something funny about me. I actually have a different matchup for Jake Long that I was rooting for.
Jennifer Lee. Jennifer Lee.
Juniper Lee. Yes.
I don't know who that is. Sorry.
Exactly. Because she's like, if Jake Long is like a D tier character, then she's like an E tier character.
No.
Like neither of them are very meaningful or memorable characters. But
You're probably just pissed off. When do you ever not piss off people?
Well, no. Just get them out
too
because
lazy to be politically correct. Okay.
yeah, no, but okay. Sum it up. Jennifer Lee was one of those characters that had a cartoon back in the golden age of Cartoon Network, and then it fell into obscurity, and people forget about her.
That makes sense.
So that's why I like the idea because like her premise as a character is like identical to Jake Long's.
Yeah,
Like,
it's an
down to-
11-year-old girl who fights demons and supernatural creatures.
Yeah. You know, like in the urban setting while dealing with teenage problems in the early 2000s. Like,
And has a talking pet.
yeah, and she has like magical powers because she's Chinese ? I don't know. I don't know. It's another one of those shows. So it's very the American Dragon Jake Long-esque.
So
No,
what do
obviously,
you?
Danny Phantom versus Jake Long is a more hyped matchup.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know, I had a soft spot for it.
To give my thoughts on it, I'm of course rooting for Danny Phantom, but I'm also kind of going into it to I'm probably going to try and root for Jake Long because I don't know him that well, and I kind of feel bad whenever
Yeah.
I choose to go for the character I do know, but I don't know about the other one. In fact,
I don't feel bad at all.
when I was going to watch Esdev versus Grey, I did watch a bit more of Akame La Kill, whatever it was called. I actually got into the show, by the way. Really great show. And Esdev is a really well written character. Like I'm not saying that because I'm a person that sort of likes good writing because I'm a writer myself. I generally thought she's probably one of the best written villains in anime. So I'm kind of wanting to go into this like, okay, maybe there's something more to Jake Long. Maybe he's not the typical cringeworthy 2000 slang idiot like I keep hearing about.
Well, it's good to keep your expectations. Okay, look, I'm not gonna lie.
It got a little better in later seasons. I'll
Yeah,
say that.
exactly.
That's what I keep hearing. So I'm not gonna watch the show. I'm just gonna look at the fights. I'm gonna look at the fights and the maybe a top 10 emotional moments.
Yeah, no. If anybody wants to watch Jake Long for this, skip the first season. Just skip it. Go to the second season. It's a completely different show. It's improved. Its art style is better to look at, and it actually makes Jake a pretty good written character. But it's just that first season just traumatizes me.
Well,
Man,
let's.
can you believe that like I wanted Dumbledore to fight Obi-Wan. Like, Jesus Christ.
Oh my god.
Okay, just complete change in subject there.
Sorry, I'm just looking at my tier list template. I'm like, Jesus Christ. What was I thinking? I mean, to be fair, they did Harry Potter versus Luke, okay? And in retrospect, that's literally as if they took, like, I don't know, fucking... what's like a less than street level magic user?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. What's a comparison?
I mean, embarrassingly enough, believe this or not, Batman or even Robin could actually beat Harry Potter.
Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong.
Like,
but like,
it doesn't take that long.
It's like taking, I don't know, it's like taking Jimmy Neutron and throwing him against fucking Goku. It's like, that's basically what happened. And it's like hilarious.
Alright, well, let's just finish up this section because we do need to wrap up because I got dogs that need to go for walkies. I have responsibilities as an adult. So, youngsters, let's wrap up this episode.
Yeah, I guess I do need to go get my family food or whatever.
Okay, so my final thoughts. I'm kind of rooting for Danny Phantom, but I'm going to go into this looking into Jake Long, and hopefully, after I watch it, I'll come to appreciate him more. And I hope the episode is entertaining. You guys want to give your final thoughts?
I mean,
if Danny Phantom wins, I'm sure I'll enjoy
it. Yeah, same here. I like Danny much more as a character, but I'm going to try and give Jake the benefit of the doubt, and I know I'm going to enjoy it because my man Lewis is working on it, and it's going to be the same animation style we saw from Miles vs. Static. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Let's go.
So,
Hell
people,
yeah.
Leave us your thoughts about the next time in the comments below, assuming we get this episode out on time. And what did you think about the last episode? Did you think Kakashi was downplayed, even though he wasn't? Watch us, we're going to get the whole splashed debunk video on us.
Oh, God.
Well, I'm going to make my own one. It's called Cummed.
Wow.
Discussing Death Battle. Debunked.
Cummed style.
Oh, God.
But, I hope you all enjoyed this podcast. I hope you're all keeping safe during the COVID crisis. Remember, keep your 2-meter rules and be sure to keep washing your hands, and we will all get through this in the end. And hopefully we'll be able to do more of these podcasts because I've kind of missed doing this.
Or if you live in the greater country, stand 6 feet apart. 2 meters.
Exactly.
You Americans obsessed with things being longer. That's why your dicks are so small. We
measure things in feet. Because humans have feet. You don't have meters on your body now, do you?
So thanks for watching, everybody.
Exactly.
Thanks for watching, everybody. So be sure to share this video around to your father, to your mothers, to your friends, and let us know what you thought of it down below. Take care.
Why would they share it to their mothers?
I don't know. I'm still trying to find my outro. I still don't know what it is yet. If you looked at my Let's Plays... Oh, that actually reminds me. I'm going to be playing some Undertale. If you want to watch me play that game, it's fucking amazing so far.
Yes, it is.
Jaru made me feel bad for killing a certain character. In fact, nearly all my friends have made me feel bad for it.
Yep, because you should.
So, playlist is down below. I'm going to be recording another one tomorrow. And let these guys do their outros.
Go find your grandmother and show her this Death Battle podcast. Yeehaw!
I'm too lazy to say my outro, so I'll see you guys for the next one.
Do you know what? We had a lazy intro, we have a lazy outro. So you know what? Anyone's watching this,